February 10th meeting of Town Freedom. Would you like to do roll call?
Sure. Shad,
Present.
Ty, Rolando.
Present.
Okay.
I'd like to stay the quorum.
Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have an unscheduled guest?
That'd be me.
Well, I moved department reports to the top, so you're you're good to go. And
I got a few things. Down at the gate at the dump, do we want to put phone numbers on that? So
Whose phone number?
well,
Yeah, I think we should.
I've seen a lot of people drive down there and then turn around and go back, and I don't know if they know to come here. But if you decide what you want to do and what phone numbers, I'll get it over there at Alpha.
get this on.
Ordered. And then, and I don't know, I guess you guys noticed that we got the new garage doors on. We didn't mention it last time. Those are done. And the school crossing light, we finally found the people to get a hold of and Sturdy got it fixed.
What was wrong with it?
Just rebooted it.
Yeah, I had to reboot it this time, so it was pretty easy to fix.
Think all the free electronic sign training you're getting out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what, we still have that water leak at the RV park. How are we gonna?
It was less this month.
Well, it's off.
Yeah.
Okay, I say because it went from 5,000 down to 2,000 something this month.
Oh, yeah, it's probably because we didn't get shut off right at
Right at
the
the-
month or something.
So
You got any ideas on that, Stuart?
Well, I thought I had it narrowed down, but I dug up that one hydrant. I thought it was that, but it wasn't that. So, back to square one.
I talked to Travis, and he will be here a week from Monday. Travis Harrison. That's the plan anyway. And I don't know how you guys want to do it. Whether you want to start on between the bridges or the risers. You want to finish up in town first, or?
Yeah, according to Mike Bells, and risers have to be done before May.
That's where I start then. Yeah, we had a little trouble down at the lift station a few nights ago. But I think hopefully that's resolved. No more problems since then.
No, I pumped it out a couple of times to make sure it was flowing good. Still flowing pretty good, so.
Has that given us a lot of trouble in the past? Or just since I started?
Yeah, you could be the problem. The only problem we've had in the past is the floats. They're not an oil resistant float. And you know, we had a bunch of oil dumped on us at one time, and that caused us some problems for a while. But we have new floats that are oil resistant. And I can't remember, do we have a maintenance contract with Busby where he comes up once a year? That might be something I might want to look at. If he can come up here and do belts, look at the floats.
Well, a lot of the stuff that's floating now looks like grease, and there's quite a bit of it in that pit. It needs to be skimmed off somehow. Cause you know, the skimmers, they won't absorb that. You know, it's just clumped together.
Can you ever pull your level down enough to get into that grease and that oil to get it?
Well, you can't really go that because there's a lot of other stuff floating that you don't want going up into the pumps.
Yeah, well, you can hear those pumps, they'll kind of start grinding and I don't know what's done to them, so.
Yeah, it needs to be skimmed off somehow.
Well, like a sewer pump truck come out and pull the
Maybe.
solids and so.
Need to figure out where the oil's coming from. And Stuart and I talked the other night, and it could be coming from the car wash.
But the way it's caking up, it looks like grease. It might not even be grease, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Car wash or
Only thing I can guess is a grease dumpster got accidentally knocked over next to the car wash. That's the only way you would get grease in it.
Well, you got regular oil, you know, like cooking oil, and then you got grease, which is like animal fat. You know, it clumps together and it becomes a solid after it cools down. So it looks more like animal fat to me, which would be the drippings off of any kind of beef or pork or anything like that. But there's quite a bit of it floating on the top. In fact, it almost covers the whole pit area.
Well, I guess we need to try to find the source of it and get the top sucked off of it so we're not pulling all that in our lagoon.
the gate at the airport. Fence has been cut and the post has been broke off and they're going back in through the backside of it again.
Then we probably need
You like it back there?
I would say get some of those cement highway dividers. Fix the fence back one more time and put those big concrete highway dividers on one side or the other to where, but then I just go somewhere else and cut the fence.
But I don't know what they're doing back there, because nothing, I'm going back there almost every day, and there's nothing new showing up.
I can guess what's going on back
I
there.
don't really see
Well, I think we probably need to file a police report for destruction of property, and we probably need to contact the BOM, but the school land people. Would that be
What'd you say?
the school land? I mean, would that be a
Well, I think that fence is Brett's.
Brett's on the riverside?
Yeah. It goes all the way to the dump.
Well, I guess we need to contact Brett too. Then
Well, yeah,
I don't know. Does the T-post face us or towards the river?
I can't tell you. I'm going back down there and looking, but I just noticed that looked like the fence had been cut and then the corner post was broke off, like it rammed into it and broke it off the ground.
Does the county have any concrete dividers?
No, but I know where you can get them. There's a guy in Buffalo that sells them, and I talked to him once, but I can't remember now what he wanted for them. But he would, I think I could talk him into maybe delivering them for the cost of what he's So, I don't know, you decide what you wanna do, if you want those dividers, I'll call him.
Do you think that would stop it or just slow them down?
Turn on for a moment.
Keep them from driving through there.
Yeah, I might just go beside them and cut the wire and pull the T-post.
How far are we talking as far as wire fence?
Oh, there's probably 20 foot of it that's down. I think that there is I think there's a metal gate there, and I can't remember for sure. But anyway, there's a gate, and they cut it on the upstream side of the gate, or the east side, and then looks like they broke the corner post off. And there's been people going through there because there's tracks, and so.
Well, I think we got people either buffaloed or something about having security cameras, because there hasn't been any dumping or any vandalism going down there.
Don't put that in the minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We probably need to contact the landowner, I guess. And I guess he would probably be the one to file a police report.
Just have to see what he wants to do.
Would police report be the sheriff?
Yeah.
Until we can get Stuart to do that job.
I'd put some of those deer hunting cameras out there, you know.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it needs.
Yeah, but if they spot them, they either steal the camera or they shoot them full of holes.
I was gonna say they'll walk off with them if they find them.
I'd say no rusty cultivator in the weeds and do
Yeah.
whatever you need in your
Yeah.
Good idea.
They might be there when you go out there the next morning. Down at the AF and AM building, we've messed with Shane for over a year now that he's supposed to be putting that door in. He's never put it in, and I think there's some other issues down there that you guys can talk about later, but I don't know what to do about that other than booty.
I got a question about that building. That furnace that's in there is. I've turned it on like the EMS had some kind of deal up there, fire department, whatever. But anyway, I didn't even know that furnace operated. But it's not running now. But I got it going for them to take off the chill. Do you know?
That's a brand new one.
Yeah,
Oh, it is?
yeah, it's a brand new heat and air combo unit.
No, I'm talking about the gas furnace in the corner, the suspended.
Oh,
from
no,
the
no, no, no,
ceiling.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Don't turn that on
Why?
because it hasn't been turned on in
Yeah,
years.
it's one of the old ones, and it burns a lot of gas.
Yeah. Well, I
That-
checked it all out real good.
Yeah.
Because I know the
Cracked heat exchanger.
the wall unit, that combo unit, has been in use a lot more than it had been in the past because the bill has gone from the minimum up to $177 this last month. So it's not getting turned off, or it's on too high instead of leaving it at a low 60 or what, just make sure pipes don't freeze or whatever when not in use.
Yeah, I turned it on during that cold snap and I had it down to 60, but it might be cycling too much because of the size of the room that it's trying to
Yeah.
heat,
But even through that short period of time, though, it shouldn't have burned $170 worth of gas. That's a
No, that's electric, that unit she's talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, and the only other thing that I have is here lawyer in Woodward.
I have a couple listed lawyers. I got two. It might be the same one.
That's the one that Jordan Russell suggested, and he's talked to him, and he said that he would come up and visit with you if you're interested in it. He's just a young kid that, well, he's Jordan's age, so whatever that is.
The Aaron Sims was the Woodward lawyer that you guys want to know the name of last month.
Okay.
That's all I have. So I'm out here.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
See you later, Randy.
Yeah.
Now we're ready for department reports.
I got most.
If you have any paper left.
It's about
Time for the maintenance department.
No. Let me see. I've got a bunch of things for the park, so some suggestions, and kind of a wish list. Oh, one thing I wanted to know is how come electric service was never run to the new barn? Do you?
What
anybody
barn
know
are we
why?
talking about?
the county.
Guess they didn't want to go to that expense. Thought it was daylight hours or.
Okay.
There's nothing in there. I mean, we ran outlets.
I was gonna say, I thought
And
there was
it-
outlets.
Well, there's garage door openers in there, you know, and
Just no power.
it's got a nice new breaker box in there. There's just no power to anywhere. I mean, there's no power coming in.
From the, nothing from the pole to the van.
Think of the money we're saving.
Oh, yes, Ed probably knows. I would have to get it.
Well, I was just asking.
I
He,
mean,
he
if-
never went down there, so
If
It's
we,
to
if
house.
we need power in there.
Well, we don't need it, but it's
get it.
kind of.
Just have to lay the line. How far is it from the post?
Oh, I have no idea. I guess the nearest pole would be somewhere over there by where Randy used to live.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it'd have to have probably its own transformer. I don't think they can.
Could you call AEC and have them send one of their guys out and see what they would charge to hook it up?
quote on picking it up.
Normally about 35 a pole.
Yeah, I don't remember what
But I don't know
we
if
had to
it
do
went out.
and how much it was when we had to do the Cimarron Estates. We had to move a pole and put a transformer in there because of the way it was set up.
Yeah, that was underground, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it might be cheaper going underground.
I think it was like 3,500 or so.
Because I know them poles are expensive.
If they'll do it underground, I don't know.
You'd still have to have a transformer, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, but if it's all it's ever going to be used for is storage, I guess you don't need electricity in there. It's kind of a waste of a good barn.
I'll say it's under the fire department to house the green
Yeah.
tanker down there, so that because they got a new brush rig in here and and I was gonna kick one out. Well, the
Mhm.
green one's the one they always leave into town in case there's a house fire or something in town that they can always
Has
hook
more
up.
water flow.
Had more water flow for it, so that one never leaves town, and so we had to have a building, and then that's when we housed extra dumpsters and the tractor and stuff was supposed to have been housed down there. So yeah, it was
They
more
got
for
an ambulance
storage
there
than
now, too.
so it was more for storage than a workshop
Yeah.
type of building.
Okay, we got like the concrete picnic tables at the park. You know, they're slowly deteriorating. Either fix them right or remove them. I think there's only one set that's still in good shape. I mean, fairly good shape. I don't know. They're terrible looking. You got some of them got wood benches, you know, slats on them where the concrete used to be. There's one where the concrete's completely disintegrated. It's just a shell left to it, basically rebar and rocks. And what about the flags there in the park? Was that a city operation or?
Bull did that.
I don't know if we inherited that, but it's Legion.
Yeah. I think the flags Bull put in. I'm
Well,
not sure, but
yeah, he
as
put
part
them
of the
in with
Legion,
the
as part of that corner
Legion
memorial.
complex.
The flags need to be replaced. American flag shredded. The state flag shredded. POW flag not too good a shape.
I think we should call Les Hackney and call the Legion. See if anybody wants to take ownership of that. If not, we'll have to assume it.
And then I just got like a request for a wish list. You know, a sewer cleaning machine, either the snake type or the jetting type. You know, 'cause if we had a jetting type, we wouldn't have had to call the guy out of Woodward. And I think everything at the park that should be painted. Probably even the benches that surround the park, either painted or stained. And that's where another part of my wish list comes, is for an airless sprayer. You know, the kind you can pump out of a 5-gallon bucket. That would make it easier to, and the bathrooms need something done with them walls too, terribly bad. Either paint them or try to get stained to soak in.
Well, we got prices on an airless sprayer in the past, didn't we? We were talking about getting one.
I hadn't gotten you one. I know some, they're refurbished, but no, I haven't given you one.
I don't think we have to have that in a meeting decision, do we?
You peel it and purchase it.
Okay.
And if I don't know if that wouldn't have anything like that. Probably not.
No,
Probably
like
more
the-
out of your catalog system.
All right, well, I just had to get approval for it. Let's see.
I think it would be advantageous to get an airless sprayer. I mean, it just helps preserve stuff and makes everything look good, and it's a whole lot cheaper than hiring painters to come out and paint something.
They are pretty fast.
What do you guys think about removing the fence to the tennis court and utilizing that pad for something else? It's basically all that thing is a trash catcher.
Well, we were kind of putting that off until we heard something from our Play World / Little Tykes people, and I don't know where we are on that. Last I heard, we hadn't got any response from anybody, but we're gonna
Yeah, the person
resurface.
she was working with
Yeah.
switched companies or something.
Oh.
Which I'll tell us.
What kind of shape? Can the fence be somewhat easily repaired, or?
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
the
just
fence?
came from up there.
The fence isn't in bad shape, it's just
Just catches all the
useless.
trash.
It's just sitting there.
Well, we need
Utilize
to,
that pad, either remove the pad or just and saw it over it, or just use the pad for something else, because, come on, let's face it, there ain't gonna be no tennis players in there anymore. I mean, it was a nice idea at the time, but
Think tennis is out of fashion.
well, no, it's just for this town it is, I think. I think the park would look better without it, even if it was just the pad sitting out there.
Take the fence off and make 2 basketball courts or something out of it, or
Here, move the hoops over there, and take up that pad, or use the pad for picnic tables or something.
I'd play tennis if I could hit the ball,
Well, that's why the fence is.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as we take it down, somebody, well, I was gonna teach my kid how to play tennis. Okay.
Before we start taking anything apart, I want to see what Play World and them come up with, because it might end up that tennis courts in a second phase or something if we go to remodel our park, and I'd hate to. I guess I'd like to see what their plans are first for redoing some of that, because we talked about resurfacing the tennis court and resurfacing the basketball court, or combining them, or putting a playground on top of the tennis court, I think, maybe.
Can you tell me who Play World is?
it's a playground equipment company.
Oh, they're all wanting to come in and put
Yeah.
toys or something.
Yeah, all the big at the parks, all the big playground
we
equipment.
want
They're a
them to,
vendor.
but they don't seem to
Okay.
want to.
Yeah, we had them come in and they went over and assessed our whole park and everything, and we were wanting to have them come up with a big plan, and then a way where we can do it in phases over 5 or 10 years, where we can put in some big playground equipment, some walking trails, and revamp some stuff, because we're like a lot of places, that's a bicentennial installation. A little outdated, but is tennis court, if the fence or something on it, something that's a safety issue or something like that, I guess we need to.
Well, it's just been there ever since I've been there. I've been there 13 years, and I've never seen a net strung. I've never seen anybody playing in there except for chasing pigs around during whatever they do, Christmas. But yeah, it's just kind of an eyesore, I think.
Well, there used to be tennis nets up there, but it's hard to keep nets up there when kids go up there and tear them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people aren't gonna go play tennis if they have to go get their own net, probably.
And if you're going to use it for a tennis court, I see the lines that are on it, and it looks like somebody had one of them spray cans and just, as best they could, with a shaky hand going on making the lines. Okay, that's it for that. Oh, and I need to have either one of you trustees or couple need to walk around this town with me, and I got a can of paint to mark some of these sidewalks and curbs you want replaced, because I had another guy come over. He just happened to be on his way back to Buffalo, and of course I was unprepared for what I wanted him to look at, because I didn't know. I knew the obvious things, of course, but and he said that he'll come back through if we got these areas marked off with paint, then he can give a better idea of what
Yeah,
would be involved in it.
I can do that with you in the morning if you're free.
Sure.
On the benches, do you have the equipment to remove them? Or I guess the county could remove them?
Well, if you wanted to remove it, it's just a matter of knocking them down.
Sure, one hit with a sledgehammer, they'll just crumble.
Halfway there.
I think we could probably salvage one if we can get the seat off of one and put it on the one that's still got the other. But it's either that or just tear them out completely, or at least tear out the.
Let's tear out
benches.
let's tear out the worst one and repair the other one if we can.
Now, they tried it with wood and it didn't work. It probably lasted one season. They either buckled or they dry rotted or something, you know. So.
Because they use cedar. Was it
Ridge
cedar they
timbers.
used?
I think they used on one they used pressure treated lumber, and then the other one I think they used them old bridge planks, the big old fat bridge planks, and heck, them things warped worse than the pressure treated ones did. I think their heart was in the right place. They just didn't. And I don't know if we could probably make new, concrete benches and redo them with the same kind of seats that, that come off, but I don't know. They're just decaying.
Yeah, the metal one that's down there's one metal one down there, right? Or is there a couple of metal ones down there?
No, there's none down here at the corner behind the Veterans Park.
Yeah, but are there any metal ones down there at the park?
I don't know.
You mean over here?
Yeah.
You got me
Or under the
thinking.
lean-to?
No, out around.
I haven't seen any.
No.
We ordered. I thought we ordered. It was a long time ago, like 7-8 years ago. I thought we ordered 3 to those metal ones from the prison place. Can't remember the name of it. It's like OCC something.
Well, I've got the catalog in there.
Yeah. And ordered them to put down there in place of some of those until they continued to rot out, and then we would replace with those metal ones as they did.
Oh, well, I imagine all of them are underneath the canopy over there, because there's none down there.
Because it's like the one that sits in front of the school. It's got the metal webbing with the plastic coating
Mm-hmm.
on it. I thought we'd ordered 3 of them to put down there, like by the bathrooms along that far west side of the park where some of those are.
There's still just the concrete ones. That'd be nice to replace some concrete ones,
Yeah.
and chain them down, so you can't walk off with them or tip them over and stuff.
Those concrete ones, they're not on pads, are they? Or they are?
Because that's what we had talked about. Was like I say, knocking the
They're
concrete
part of
ones
the pad.
off, and then
I
putting
can't
on that
remember if
pad,
they were
putting the
just
metal
on-
ones on it, and
Little foundation.
anchor
No,
them.
they're on the whole pad, that whole walkway.
But they were probably just set out there and probably walked off over the last couple of years.
Who did you say you think we ordered them from?
But
Oh, it's some kind of correctional institution type supply house.
yeah,
Could you price a couple of those?
Yeah, there's no prices in that catalog, but yeah.
I think we ordered them, like I say, several years ago. They were about 1,000 a piece, maybe a little less. But they're all the table and 2 benches. They're all one piece.
And the horseshoe pits, what about them? I think they ought to be removed too, or relocated maybe, or fixed. 'Cause I've lived here a long time, and it was just a couple of years ago that I realized they were down there. You know,
They,
They're on the north side of the
Tennis
tennis
courts.
court, yeah. Right
But
there.
like horseshoe pitching, if you got a nice swing equipment and playground equipment, some people do like to play horseshoes. They could go down there and watch their kids play, and they could go play a game of horseshoes.
That's what I
do we
like.
need to dig it out or clean it up or what kind of shape?
Yeah, it's just basically pulling the stakes up and removing the ties. There isn't a whole lot to it.
But I mean, if we kept it, do we need to redo it, put new backboards and dig it out and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. The timbers they got down there are rotten, you know. But there you go again, you know, you got kids, you know, the stakes sticking up, and you got liability of somebody impaling themselves on the stakes.
I guess, yeah, most of them parks, I think Woodward's their horseshoe pitching things fenced in.
Mhm.
And it's probably their liability insurance that makes them do that. Or an old folk walk down there and trip over them or something, you know. It's the only bad thing about horseshoe pits.
Got me scared now.
Well, I think of all this stuff, you know. I'm always looking for the other shoe to drop somewhere. And that's about it for me. Have you guys ever thought of sodding over some of the park or all of the park?
Not until we get a well and some kind of irrigation system, because I think it would be cost prohibitive to keep anything watered enough to sod back over. But I'm sure that, I don't know about it since I've been on here, but I'm sure that was discussed before about sodding it over.
Yeah, because I don't think you're ever going to get them sandbirds out of there. You know, what gives a park if nobody wants to be there? 'Cause, you know, you just fall down. If you're a little kid, fall down, the parents take half hour picking stickers out of you.
Does anybody remember where we were on a water well? On having one drilled?
Yeah, it's been talked about several times, but I don't know if anyone's ever been out to give a quote on what it would take, how far. I mean, price-wise, I don't think we've never discussed price.
Would that be a bidding job though?
Well, there's not a whole lot of people punches water wells
Probably
anymore.
No, I say it's under.
Under 40,000
Yeah.
or something.
I think it's like 40 or 50,000. As long as it's under that, it doesn't have to be bid out.
Who are those guys? I think they're at Coldwater.
See, I thought I seen some advertisement for somebody drilling wells.
Something.
I don't know if Wells and Woodward is Wells, yeah.
Little, so now, but
Wells and Alva, I know.
But you got to get on the list. It's pretty long waiting sometimes for them.
Because I
No,
know
we've
we
been talking
discussed
about
it
it a long
for,
time too.
yeah,
have any idea how deep it'd have to go?
that's why I don't.
I've heard here in Freedom you can go about 30 feet. That's what Max told me. Or Doherty told me that.
My irrigation well is at like 20, 25 feet.
Well, it might be a little shallower this way because the more you go up that way, it's a little more.
Yeah, much more sub-irrigated. Yeah, can we have, I guess, Stuart? Or the office manager?
I can call. Who was it that you thought in Alva?
Lales, L-E-H-L.
I
You
think
got a phone
that might be one
L
thing
E
about too.
H L.
Yeah, L-E-H-L. Lale and Sons.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
And then I'm
The
sure
waiting
there's
list is pretty.
Yeah.
whoever is in the area, you know, anybody that's interested in giving us a bid on what they would charge. I guess it'd be a rod or a foot to drill a well.
That's
Okay,
by,
so the foot pump and everything.
that's by foot, but I think they all have a minimum, if I remember right.
What usually they do.
200 feet.
About, I think minimum. Well, not 100 feet, but I've heard maybe.
I can look it up.
A lot of them do have a minimum though.
But if we could get that and have that information, hopefully if they could come bid and we could have that before the next meeting.
I wonder if like you want me to call them and go ahead and get on the list, and then if we decide nah, call them back and get off the list, or what are you thinking? You just want to play an idea?
Well, just right now we need prices.
Okay.
Quotes.
Probably, and
Yeah.
then once we decide at our next meeting,
Compare
then we
quotes and go from there.
I think they did Doherty's well, and so I'm sure they'd be able to tell you right over the phone how deep they had to go.
Alright.
So.
I did want to mention about the benches that surround the park. They're all rotting at the base and they're breaking off. I mean, kids are kicking them over. They kicked one over so far.
Is that
They're
like
6
the-
by 6 posts, and you know they're pretty rotten when you can kick them over.
Are there plaques on those? Or am I-
Some have
Oh, they,
plaques.
I was gonna say, I thought some of them were like,
I mean, they're memorial
Well,
benches that you know either we fix
that
them or
might
do
be
away with
the
them.
Legion, ask them if they did that, or if that was the Cowboy Auxiliary, or I don't know who did those memorials.
Dual Wardrop or Vanessa Gerloff would be able to tell us or find somebody that could tell us about those benches and who would be interested in replacing them.
Or finding some other avenue to put the memorial on or something,
Mhm.
because you don't want to remove that without.
I mean, yeah, if somebody cared enough to put Uncle Sam's memorial bench up there to remember Uncle Sam, you'd think they would be interested in maybe remembering him 40 years later.
I could call Vanessa and ask her. Yeah, they're rotting off.
Champagne.
Alright, does that conclude the maintenance department report?
Just for me.
Moving right along to the office manager's report.
Jeannie Stallman sent this letter. If you're gonna read it. And this is the bill that goes with it.
What house is that?
It's
The one down at Patrick.
Trailer house?
Yeah. The one where the meter was leveled off at was it Christmas?
Yeah, Christmas Eve, I think it was.
We got the bill from Travis Harrison, and
The gas meter got ran over.
Was there a police report done?
No, I couldn't get anybody to come out and do it. Sheriff's Department wouldn't do it. They said we'd have to call Highway Patrol, and
You could get away with murder out here. Damn.
yeah, that's what I kind of thought. What good are
Ran
you?
over a gas meter, they wouldn't even come out the day after to do a police report?
He took like a statement over the phone, and I told him basically what I knew that happened, and of course Ed would have, or not Ed, Phil would have had to been the complainant.
747.
But he not only took out, you know, the meter itself, but it took out both services, both sides of the service. Took out his and took out ours. That's why Harrison had to show up, because them are fused, by the way. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
They're all fused. And I kind of like to get qualified to fuse those things, which means buying an iron, everything like that. But I think it'd be a good
That
deal.
was talked about a long time ago when,
getting qualified.
yeah.
Yeah,
when-
it just depends on when it's offered and then get the equipment.
I just remember that was brought up a long time ago.
So she wanted the freedom to pay that.
I don't know. I
Who
haven't
who
seen
ran
it.
it over?
It was John's truck that ran it over, but John says he wasn't driving it, which it doesn't matter, it was your truck. And Phil actually seen it come to a stop. He didn't see it actually hit it, But he ran outside because he heard the crash and he seen the truck come to a stop, pulled around behind the house and came to a stop. But he said he couldn't see who jumped out of it.
Basically, the gist of it is that she's asking to know who hit it. Because
Well, you just said
she's
he
talking
said
about
his truck hit it. Jonathan said that himself. I mean,
No,
Phil
Phil
saw
said that.
it.
Phil said. It's a good thing Phil does what he does because he knew how to, kind of temporarily fix the leak.
Yeah.
Or the best he could, I should say. He said he didn't call me out that night is because he didn't want to bother anyone. Phil.
Yeah.
that's Bill for you.
Mhm.
guys are in gas by his back. Didn't want to bother me. Well, I guess we'll send her a letter back saying that there was a statement given to the sheriff's department the night of the accident, and that there was a witness that identified her son's truck who is the resident there.
See, I don't think she's just, saying it wasn't her truck. She's just trying to say that John wasn't driving. But in most states, you're responsible for your vehicle.
Yeah, that's why.
Doesn't matter who's driving it.
Well, if we ever get a lawyer to call us back, we can ask them about that.
Because wouldn't that even be covered under his vehicle's insurance?
Yeah, you would think if they.
Under liability.
Yeah, but they don't want to pay the deductible, and
Well,
if they
yeah,
get
I'll
picked
bet.
up, and they probably don't have insurance on
Was
it.
this day or night that Phil saw
It
him?
happened at like 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that.
Middle of the night wake up call.
There's probably no homeowner's insurance because I doubt they have renter's insurance. EF owns the house and EF owns the pickup, so we either send the bills
TF?
to EF or get Jeannie to pay it. Or write her a letter to that effect. I think we should consult with our lawyer because it
Yeah.
seems like it could get.
With no police report. I might.
Phil told me they're still driving in between that tree and his meter to drive, pull around back.
It sounds like we need to get a
She mentioned
barrier.
bollards.
Or a big old
I
rock.
thought they was supposed to do that to all the open meters.
Yeah,
If
all
we-
of them should have it around. I've seen some of them have them, but really all of them need to have them.
I mean, mine doesn't, but mine's in between a house and a fence is right there. Nobody's gonna drive through it, but
Like even like some of those when I'm coming to work, I noticed like on
Like-
this side are right there. Which I mean, people aren't gonna hit them; they're right there. But if somebody was to slip on some ice, they're gonna slide into them, going too fast.
we need some barriers for all.
Can you weld?
meters.
Oh, yeah, I can well.
Get some pipe.
Is it our responsibility to protect them meters or is it theirs?
It's theirs.
Now she was saying yes and you were saying no.
No, because it's not. I mean, the Corporation Commission and OG&E
Yeah,
and
it's
everybody
separate.
else will tell you if it's. I mean, you can't destroy somebody's infrastructure. I mean, that'd be like running over a telephone pedestal and dragging half the cable out of the ground. You can't say, well, you should have protected it. I mean, it's in a utility easement. Now, I guess if the board decided, we could say that any meter that's hit in the future gets pushed over to the edge of the house and reinstalled over there instead of continuing to put them back in a conspicuous place to get hit. But a lot of them were installed in frankly stupid places to begin with. And as I understand, that was a fad started by OG&E that has nothing to do with any kind of regulation or corporation commission or town ordinance. So if we have another one that gets hit, I think we probably need to move them out. I don't know if that's something we need to discuss as a board or.
It's a good idea, but
Be a big undertaking.
it would. Some are out pretty far, and my question is, once we extend it into their property, that's more on us, isn't it?
It would be more, I mean, technically, yeah, it'd be more footage of infrastructure, but you don't have a meter 18 inches from the edge of an alley.
So what I'm getting at is, if something happens to our line on their property,
It'd just be like cutting telephone line or anything else, it would still be their.
on them, okay.
Yeah.
Just with it being gas, I wasn't too sure. So.
Yeah,
I still have to
and
call
I can
Wayne
double
Miller
check with,
before you dig.
I can double
Right.
check with Mike Bales and Travis Harrison on that, but I'm almost for
Okay.
certain any utility going to you from the meter on is yours.
Yeah.
Meter out is ours, but if you know you're digging a fence or something and hit it, that's on you.
My horses have knocked the
Unless we
meter off
horribly
of our pole,
mislocate
electric
one.
pole a few times. They replaced 2 of them. They said the third one was on us. Which we have panels around it, but
Do we have a lawyer we want to send that letter to or ask about it?
we don't really. I mean, unless that lawyer will look at it or the lawyer on this list. I mean, we don't. I mean, you can't get a hold of the lawyer we have.
I could take it by the office, or take a copy of it by his office tomorrow. And see if there's any response
Sure.
until we get a
It would
hold of
be-
someone else to
it
put
would
on
be-
retainer or
It would be
something.
worth a try, but
Well, like I say, I mean, we can take it over there while we try to find a replacement.
I'll see if we can't just write her a letter tomorrow after her sidewalk duty. See if surely the Woods County, if they take a statement over the phone, they would have their filed it. And if they did, no receipt ready with a DA or somebody.
The DA might give you legal advice on that,
Mm-hmm.
because you're a municipality.
Mm-hmm.
Good thinking.
All right, so this to the side on questionable.
Number 2.
Pat Thompson's on that leak. You said you went in there and it was the way it was bent or something. Stuart knows more about it. Still went through his meter, but anyways, you can.
You want me to tell you the part I know? Or the part I was told?
Let me have it.
Whatever we need to do.
Here was his meter originally on the house side of it. The city came and changed the water line or something and extended his water line or his meter out further.
Mhm.
So we did the plumbing to on that extension,
Mhm.
and that's where it broke. Okay.
What he had was a car. Say this is the water line coming in, and here's the old meter box, right? And here's the new meter box out by the road, which all 3 of your meters are in together in the same box. Well, when he brought this line in, all it was just a collar. And what he did is, because the trench, you know, that poly's pretty bendable, you know, it's pretty pliable. He brought in an angle like this and pulled this around to meet up with it, okay, which is fine and dandy, but over time and stuff, the pressure got to it and just kind of just broke enough to create a leak. Well, what's his name? Thompson. But he was digging it up because he was looking for the leak because his meter was always running. And when he got to that spot, all he did was pull dirt away from that line, and we had a flood. I mean, it just broke completely. So whoever made that glue joint, instead of angling to it like I did, they just bent the pipe around to meet it. Yeah, it was just too much pressure on it, and it gave. And plus, on them collars, you're only gluing about this much of the pipe into both sides of your pipe, so you don't have a whole lot of gluing room anyway. So yeah, I don't know. I know it was an awful lot of water because he was standing there when I seen it. You know, what could I say? It's what happened. You know.
Who did the plumbing work?
I don't know.
It was, I believe it was done with a grant. It was a company out of Beaver, I want to say.
But it was our plumbing.
Yeah, I mean we had a company come in, and they changed all of our water and gas lines up there and moved everything around, and because we had no water pressure at the top of the hill, and so they moved it around and put in bigger pipes so that we'd have a better pressure.
And this went on for 4 months? Or just a month?
No, I don't know how long
It was in the 3rd month when you found it, because there was 2 cycles. They didn't say anything the first time for a while, and then the second time they started questioning it, and that's when I suggested we change out the meter and check it in a couple of days to see how much was going through at that point in time, and that's when we found that it was definitely on their side going through.
And the only reason anybody had any idea of where the leak was is because Pat remembered where his meter was. He started digging there because he hadn't had it dug out quite yet. And I said, how do you know you're digging in the right place? He goes, because this right here was where my meter was. I said, okay. Just let him dig.
We moved him out because Pat had dogs and other animals back there that weren't very friendly. And the meter was right there at the fence line, and so we moved everything out, and we moved the gas meters out too, and they're all hooked in between Smith's house and our house, all right there in a row, so that everything's
Excuse
together.
to find a grant for telemetry. I would say that this would be our deal, and we need to average the
Yeah.
bill to
That's my
whatever
suggestion.
it was, because obviously our plumbing was the cause of it.
And who was your customer on this?
Pat Thompson.
Pat Thompson.
And Cindy, did you get a bill for that or never?
It's an
That was,
estimate.
I don't know
Well,
if any more needs to be done with that or
No,
we're done.
yeah.
And the RV at the RV park has been not paid since November. His water is shut off, right? But we haven't shut no electric off or anything like that because it's been cold. But he's been no sight, nothing of it.
And the last time that electricity was shut off to one of them, last time it was shut off was accidental. It wasn't turned back on after they were mowing several before I even was elected clerk. They forgot to plug it back in, and the freezer defrosted with a full fridge and freezer full of meat and other products, and it thawed out and drained goo all over the insides, and we had to turn insurance claim in and do face value of the trailer. Town had to pay that out.
But I mean, how long does that thing sit there before?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you don't know if something's
Well, I see
running
this
or not,
number.
or if it's. Do we have phone numbers now?
Do we have any protocol or?
Yes, I do actually have a number I can call. You did leave
So
it.
you try calling him?
No, I never. I forgot it was there.
How long? And he hasn't been around for how long?
Since November. He paid in November, but his water shut off because it's the only thing we could shut off. And like maybe he said, maybe he went further south for the winter. Moved through south. I don't know.
That's what I say, is he a snowbird?
Vacationing in Florida, well, that's
Yeah.
$30 oil.
I mean, I guess it. I mean, you're paying for the electricity of it. I guess whatever's hooked in there, up in there. I mean, but in the end, if it sits there forever and the RV park does fill up, that's a spot that can't be used.
Do we have anything stated on anything like abandoned?
We have like abandoned cars if they're not tagged. We have an ordinance on those, have to be behind fence so that they're not seen, so that they're not considered like a used car lot, or I mean.
Is there anything that out of town oily sign when they get a RV spot that would let them
Just
know?
live there.
Oklahoma.
Which I mean, here you probably, if you did turn electricity off and did, would you want to be that mean? Probably, but.
We would probably want to call our insurance company on
I would think you would be
liability side
covered
and
because
find
he hasn't paid since November.
But I
He
just want
has
to know how
Has
long
not.
it was before you had abandoned.
I think you
Yeah.
gotta put in a, effort to locate him and notify him before you
Yeah.
do
And
that.
have we done that?
Well, it's
No, I
like,
need to. I forgot there's a number.
it's like an
here.
electrical bill on your house. You don't pay it, they go shut it off.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but you're mean. We don't want to be.
well, I know. It's been since November is what I'm getting at.
They're hostile.
Yeah,
Well, I'll try to call him and see what in the world's going on. See if I can even get a hold of
Yeah.
him.
And we
And
might
maybe
also,
no more
like
by
I say,
next-
call OMAG on the
Okay.
liability side and just ask them what was liability. I mean,
But
where
yeah.
would we lie since this
How
person
long?
hasn't paid? How, if we
I'm
shut
just-
it off, we don't want another claim.
Yeah.
What does Happy Hollow Campground down here do when somebody leaves trailer behind?
The
Are there two down there that have been?
whatever roost, the buzzard roost.
Yeah.
I don't know. The two that are down there I know now are the owners of the RV park. The two on the further northwest end.
Well, they go down there on vacation or they have a lien on them?
They're theirs. They're there for someone who wants to come in and stay and doesn't have a trailer.
It's like a room for rent.
Yeah, trailer permit.
Fleetwood bed and breakfast.
I'm not part of that. I don't know.
Okay.
So there has to be some sort of law that after they sit there so long that I mean
We need to put
they
that
can they be
on our
towed
list
away
for our lawyer or the
that we don't
DA.
have.
There's a huge body of law on tenants' rights.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've been having to investigate it in Kansas for a property my sister owns. And while this is in Kansas,
Yeah.
6 months, if you want somebody out in Kansas, you gotta give them 6 months notice.
Well,
And
They could have things
basically,
destroyed.
you cannot take the law into your own hands, at least as an individual, and I doubt that you can as a city, just create law
Yeah.
without voting on it, And so since it sounds like you guys don't have a written document the tenant signed saying we can kick you out after 30 days of
Well,
not paying
it
rent.
says please make payment within 10 hours on arrival. Guess it doesn't really have any long term.
See, that's the problem. If you don't have anything in
Right.
writing, then it sort of becomes under state law. It's not under freedom law, it's going to be under state law, because at least there's some law that would cover it. And that's why you know I asked the DA, what's the state law on giving tenants notice if we don't have it in writing? And that's my sister's problem in Kansas, she didn't have it in writing.
And what constitutes a tenant when it's something, like an
Or
RV, I
portable,
mean, that's
yeah.
the
Well,
law
it
is
matters
fall
if
under
they're paying
vehicle.
rent to you,
yeah.
if they're paying rent for space, I think that's.
And when he comes back, he'd have to still pay from November on,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, he is hooked up
I
from
think you're gonna have to come under state law on that, and that may be to your advantage, actually. If you find out what state law is.
I mean, it just comes rodeo time. A lot of times that park fills up and they not be making enough money on an empty lot. But
You know, and if you do get a hold of him, I mean, he might settle up or come and get his things.
At least unplug from electricity, so it's not costing us more money.
So you have a name and address and everything to contact you?
Just a number. I mean, he has a PO box 171.
You can send a
Freedom.
certified letter as well.
Yeah.
Can you make a list of what I need and go talk to the DA and consult him? Can you also try to make contact with that person? And then third, we need to make a little bit more substantial lease agreement
Yeah.
for our RV park.
Yeah, it's just made for like
Whereas-
overnighters. You know, it's not really.
Address, phone number.
Because you can do
Well, it's got
backward.
an address and a phone number, but when they're living at the RV park, your address, not necessarily get you very far. but there definitely needs to be more in fine print.
Last known address.
Yeah.
Previous address.
Next address.
Okay, very good. What else you got, Rodney?
Well, it's possible gas leak maybe at the fire station. You must have went and reread it.
I didn't read it again today, no.
So, just that.
Do you have any details?
No.
It caught my eye whenever I was getting videos ready.
Did somebody
It's a little
investigate
higher
that?
I think
normal.
you read it. 900 used in one day. Units.
I would read it like 2 days in a row and just see if it's that or it's like, especially now that it's warmer, you're not going to use as much.
Yeah.
And if it's still spewing out that, then
The heater
there's.
even on?
It's got to be on a little bit for the ambulance and the ambulance side.
Even
think-
better.
I think it's below ground leak, if, because they're,
Are there dead spots around or black spots?
no, because everything's dead now, but.
Stuart, you're not making me look very smart right now.
But I think it's up close to the building, if, there is one, it's probably close to the foundation.
I won't do it, but what a great headline.
No.
Possible gas leak at Freedom Fire Station.
Maybe this guy is not making the clerk look smart at all in this meeting. Everything's already dead.
Stay around, that ain't it.
Oh, great.
Will our sniffer find it something?
Yeah, if I knew how to use it.
Get Randy.
Randy know how to use it.
It's never
Nobody knows how to use it. Mike Bell's never seen anything like that.
Where did this
Call
come
the
from?
guy we got it from.
Same guy you bought the locator from.
I would call him and ask him to come show you how to use it.
Oh, I asked him to come and show me how to use the locator, but he never made it, and I had to figure it out on my own. But that sniffer it's too complicated. It's just.
Google and see if there's an instruction
I was gonna
manual
say.
or
It even
something.
came with a
online.
CD, and I thought, all right, they got like a demonstration now. It's just the same thing the book says, only in CD form.
What's the book say?
It's just a list of instructions, but
To operate it?
huh?
To operate it?
Yeah. I mean, it's got it. You can snip anything from O2 to natural gas,
Tomorrow.
methane, anything.
We'll investigate that tomorrow morning after the call.
So yeah, tomorrow we can,
Gonna have
like I
to
say,
dig
Google.
on it.
Maybe there's a YouTube video.
Well, I heard
YouTube
you got
video
it from
on
the
that,
same
too.
guy. I mean, I don't even know that for sure. The Mike Bells even took a picture of it. Yeah. He tried figuring it out. He ended up.
He can't figure it out.
We both figured out how to turn it on and turn it off.
To start.
That's progress.
I do not have financials. The bank statements just arrived today. Been waiting on them. So I do not
Okay.
have updated financials of where the bank accounts are at this point in time.
For the clerk/treasurer report. And I guess that includes the office manager.
Oh, seasonal and yearly dump passes. People are questioning those, if they are available. I mean, they'd still have to come down here and get the key, but they just pay a one-time yearly fee.
I think if you have a yearly dump pass, if we do such a thing, it should at least be the same price or exceed what a big
Per day.
dumpster.
Yeah.
Would
You know,
cost.
yearly cost of a large dumpster would be.
But we pay by the loadout, don't we? Not by the
You mean like-
cost of it.
Like residential dumpster? Or like
Like
dumpster
went
dumpster?
to neighbor, like a dumpster.
Oh, okay.
dumpster,
So
dumpster dumpster.
40 times
$40.
12. Because if you want it for the,
Oh,
year,
I
for the
see.
year, right? 40 times 12.
Oh no, you gotta do that.
Or you just want a yearly dumpster to be 40, or yearly pass to be $40.
No, it would have to be what the cost of a dumpster would be for a year.
So it'd be 40
So 40 times
times
12.
Whatever that comes up to be.
Yeah. 48 or $480.
$480.
Yeah. So
Nobody's
least
gonna
that.
do
No.
That sounds high.
Yeah,
well,
nobody's.
that's what I pay every year for my trash.
I just sometimes when you say it out like that, doesn't.
But often you get a break if you,
Make
if
it
they don't have to
$400.
send 11 more bills or something
Yes,
like
make
that,
it-
you know.
$400. $450.
I think what the issue is there's some people that have been using the Freetown community dumpster, and now that it's chained off, they still refuse to pay for trash service. So
They just can't get it in their system.
Mhm.
They have to pay.
But everybody should have at least a polycart on their bill they're already paying for. Should.
well, people we provide gas service to up north.
Well, that's
they have
true.
Polycars,
But most of them are
of them.
dumpsters.
Yeah, most of them
and
have.
what if they don't have a dumpster?
They have a car. Like,
Yeah, I think all of them pretty much have trash service, or they have trash service, but it's not necessarily directly through us.
there's an ordinance. If they have
Water
or gas
trash.
meter, they have to have trash. That was established whenever we switched over to that ATM
Yeah.
company that was coming in, and then they bellied up and Harper took them back over. Or they sold out to Harper, I guess I should say. Because they had Hammond and several towns down south that Harper ended up taking over as well.
When you think about like a weekend, like a free weekend, especially with, you know, spring coming, spring cleaning type deal.
That's what
Open
we
it up
used to
on the
do
weekend.
was like twice a year we would have the roll-off come in, and that was it. And then we decided to start doing it
Keep it over.
just have them on here all the time, and then as soon as it was full, roll it out.
Yeah, everybody should, like I say, pay for a dumpster already, so I don't know.
Well, it's not only the dumpster, but, you know, people clearing out shrubs and trees and limbs and stuff, you know.
That can't go in a dumpster.
Open it on the weekend and close it up by certain hours, like, you know, like.
Whatever
midnight.
hours you want to sit down there.
Well, I'm not saying anybody sit down there, but open it up and only have a limited time to do it, like,
If we don't have
At 9
somebody
o'clock.
there to oversee it,
Yeah.
then we might as well,
just open it up.
Leave it
because it'll be like it was before. We'll have drywall in the tree limbs and diapers in the Maytag pile, and
And maybe drive, you know, pay the trustees with a 12-pack of beer and have them sit down there and
No. No.
I would say I would do it, but I don't drink beer.
I'm not paying you as well.
Rolando probably would do it for that.
But no.
We're being filmed, everybody.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, I
Something to think
just,
about for spring cleaning. I
no,
guess.
All I know
for the
is-
record.
No.
a lot of people are complaining to me about it being closed, and
We'll tell them that the board will take into consideration a possible spring cleaning weekend
I think
to be
that'd
discussed
great.
later
right.
at a future meeting.
I think that'd be good to do that. Do you have any dates that you recommend,
I would
Stuart?
recommend for alumni. For alumni weekend. Since Easter. Isn't it early this year or is it late this year? I don't remember.
Another thing you could always do for the community, if there's a big storm come through,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
was just
open it
thinking
up a
that.
Saturday or something.
Yeah, it was breaking off branches and stuff.
Yeah.
And you
That'd help encourage people to clean up right away after a storm or something. To leave it lay on the street
I'd probably
forever.
do a spring cleaning weekend, like the weekend before, or 2 weekends before alumni. And Mud Run usually that Saturday, no matter what. Do you know?
Easter.
Easter.
So pretty much what it comes down to,
I don't have my phone.
we really
I got the
don't
flyer
want to do
for
a
it.
yearly
I know.
But
pass.
I forgot the date.
How
we
hard
can,
is it?
but it should be the same price or
Yeah, but how
maybe a
hard is it
little
for them to
less.
come down in here and pay the $5 and get a key?
Exactly.
Nobody's gonna use it
Because they're
$450
wanting to
worth.
bring their household trash in every week.
Buzzard Rally is March 26th.
And
Still be cheaper even if they just spent $5 a week, then it would be to pay the $480, wouldn't it be? Not quite. Do the math.
that'd be a little less.
$5 a week's plenty a month, 12 months, 240.
240, so about the same. Or no, 240 would be half that.
Well, the main reason we did it was because of the household garbage that was going out there.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's a good plan. Just you want to throw furniture or whatever out, or whatever can go in that dumpster other than garbage. You know, pay your $5, get it out of your yard. You know, but the weekend deal is kind of vague. Like it says $10 a weekend. Is that both days? You know, they're gonna have the key for both days.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't know what our numbers are, but I'm sure they're pretty slim because before I got on here, I think the decision was made that we'll put a dumpster out there, and if we do that, we'll raise everybody's trash bill in town or their sewer bill. Well, now that we've locked the dumpster up, nobody's seen the decrease in their trash bill. And they're not gonna pay $5 to go dump trash.
But we never increased their trash.
It was talked about, but it never went up.
That's what, I mean, that's what people say. I
Oh.
don't know if it was done or not.
It never
That
was.
might-
No,
My deal.
ATM kind of set those prices
Yeah.
for us based on other surrounding towns that they operated. So, I know the one girl was the one lady that I always dealt with when ATM started was out of Winoka. The driver came from out of Winoka, I know.
Well, the reason I even ask about the weekend deal is because say somebody's gonna have the key for the weekend and they've got, well, we've only got 2 keys for one thing, but you got 3 or 4 people wanting to dump during the weekend, you know? I mean, what do they do? I mean, 2 keys are out. And who's to say that who doesn't have the key for the 2 days is just gonna let everybody in there and just dump whatever they want in there? Cause hey, yeah, ooh, I got the key.
Go down
Start
to Hobart and cut about 50 of them keys.
I think if you hand out keys, they'll start cutting them themselves.
Now, we all have, you all got the combination,
Pass out the
right?
combination.
Have you got the combination?
But I
That
forget
works
it.
once.
Have you got the combination? Yeah, I've got a combination lock on there too, so,
Has he got a key where you can change the combination on it?
yeah. Why? Too many people got it now?
No, but
I've only given it to.
like Lynn
trustees.
said, on a weekend, if it's a bunch of people, you can give them the combination.
And then just
Which
change it
sounds-
on Monday.
And then just change them in the lock, you can go buy it for $5 and get rid of it.
There's too many combinations I can remember.
Just keep them in a book.
Just count up 10 every time you switch it.
Good idea.
But yeah, you're probably right. You probably do need to switch locks out once in a while because somebody might be making copies when they got that key.
You will have that problem with
Yeah,
keys.
not.
Combination if you switch it up.
Yeah.
Maybe switch one number up, one down. You might stay ahead of them that way, but
Well, would the office staff like to set a date for our weekend trash bonanza?
how you got
After the meeting?
Yeah. Well, and then we'll make a letter to send out in the March bills to let residents know and we'll put it in the paper.
Yeah, I would like to put it in my own story.
It'll be what? Spring breaks the week of from the 12th to the. So you could make it like either the weekend of the 12th or the weekend of the 19th, and that way it's the weekends before Mud Run. One of those or both of those, Mr. Mayor.
I guess we can do both. That would kind of give me something to do 2 Saturdays in a row.
No, he wants the beer, okay.
But it'd have to be 2 Saturdays,
Those 2 Saturdays?
I guess, yeah.
So
Are
March.
you talking March?
Yeah, spring clean Saturday. Dumps open from 9 to 5, 9 to 4,
5
3.
to 5.
5 to 5. What's your hours of service, sir?
What would be appropriate? Most people get up, eat their Fruit Loops, think about cleaning the garage
Well,
out.
that time of the year, they kind of want things to warm up a little bit.
I would say just an afternoon would be enough.
No, we got all the early
Leave it till
risers
dark?
around here. I'd say
How late?
10,
9:30 or 10 to.
And if we have bad weather, we'll just jump it to another
10
weekend.
to what? 10 to 10?
I think Robbie wants you to work.
10 to 4 or 10 to 5.
9 to 5 maybe. I mean,
You don't sit there too
it's
long. It
on
would be
Saturdays you're
boring.
thinking and a Sunday.
No, we're gonna rotate out, Robbie.
2 Saturdays.
I'm gone.
You gotta think people who work.
some people do work on Saturday.
And I don't
We can
get
always open
everything
it.
down. I don't get my 5th or 6th load down there till probably about
That's what I said.
5:15. So
We could probably even open it on Sunday from like 9 to noon, 9 to 1.
that's church time. That's,
It
we have
better
food
be
laws against
1
that.
to 1 to 4 or
Yeah,
1 to
1 to
5
4.
on Sunday.
In fact, you probably can just do it on Sunday only, 1 to 5 and reach everybody.
They can clean it all up on Saturday and haul it all out on Sunday.
Whatever you guys
It saves you a couple of days.
This is not on the agenda. Whatever you guys think.
This is.
I do a 1 to 4 on 2 Sundays.
I think that's excellent.
Okay, spring
So
clean.
down there and eat my bucket of chicken after church.
And what dates do we decide to do it in March?
Okay, so Sunday will be 13 and 20. Spring clean.
I don't know which day you want.
March 13 or 20. 1 to 4.
I'm one that
or
works on
5.
Saturdays.
What did I say? 1 to 4, 1 to 5.
I'm related to it.
1 to
I can't
4.
charge for anything, can I?
Yeah, I can't come out and do it on Saturday.
I said 1 to 4, but it could be 5. Whatever.
I can. We'll have Lynn come do it.
Yeah, there.
Think of all the papers you'll sell.
Yeah, I brought you guys some treats.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh,
Come back often.
The Robbie, I need to say Robbie's good size. And Sunday's good size.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that gives you energy to finish the meeting.
thanks.
Big sweetheart, Lynn.
If your wife forgets to get your Valentine, you got one.
There you go.
Thanks.
Well, at least Lynn got me something.
There you go. You're starting to kind of sound like Mr. Hill from the school board meeting. He's wanting to sing in Valentine. That's like they're singing Valentine.
Thanks. All right, does that conclude the clerk, the treasurer, the office manager, and the maintenance department reports?
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Moving right along, number 5. Discussion and action on past meeting minutes from January 13th, 2016. Is everybody on the board had time to read
Yeah,
past minutes? I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Do you approve? Yes or
Yes, motion approved.
no? Alrighty.
The yeas are in the affirmative.
Motion passed.
Discussion action on POs for the general fire and ambulance funds. Has everyone on the board had time to review those?
Mm-hmm. I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
Yes.
Check.
Motion passes. Discussion and possible action on cell phone contracts and the advice for maintenance manager. Well, we currently pay, and correct me if I'm wrong, but $57 with Pioneer
Probably.
for 1,500 minutes of talk and no text.
I don't know. I'm not gonna make it.
Should I take it?
No.
If we go back with Pioneer and get a new phone, they don't per se give phones out anymore. As an upgrade, you pay a monthly.
You can buy the phone outright, or you can do a 2-year monthly installment plan, which then the cost of the phone usually anywhere from like the smartphones anyway, data phones with texting opportunities that you're out at the lift station needing to look up phone numbers, internet, whatever. Usually range anywhere from $20 to $30 a month, depending on the device or the amount of the device. I know personally we just bought the Dura Scout, and it's supposed to be one of the most durable phones for water dropping it. The screen's supposed to be that sapphire, whatever toughest screen out there deal, and it is like 26 something a month, I think, is what we pay for that phone for the next 2 years. Otherwise, it's $400 and some for the phone if you buy it outright. But you have that option. You can buy the phone outright, and you have it, you're done, or it's a 2-year payout.
But it
installment
costs the
plan.
same regardless of what you do.
Yes. There's
No
no like
interest
interest
rate.
on it, nothing like that.
Just pay it off slowly.
Less painful that way.
Do you need a smartphone, or do you?
I just know I don't need anything smarter than I am, which
You need a rotary you can carry.
pretty much
Climb the pole.
Well,
telegraph.
I have Verizon personally, is why I checked with them, because I know what they say to us on our phones. And I called the person that I dealt with, and he said that Stuart could get a free phone and 700 minutes of talk and unlimited text for $25 a month. Now, to me, that by far would beat Pioneer at $57 a month. And then if we wanted unlimited talk and text, that'd be $49 a month for Verizon. The only catch with Verizon, I mean, there's tremendous savings there in the cost of a monthly bill, but the only downside that I can see to it, or this may be an upside depending on what Stuart thinks, but Pioneer doesn't have the ability to port numbers like other providers do. So you would get a new phone number.
No. No, we got to stick with the same phone number. I mean, there's just too many people out there that have this phone number for the town maintenance.
And it's on all the signs too.
Well, not only that, but you know, bales and
You're
all of
right.
the
No port
inspectors,
numbers? I thought that
and
was federal law.
superintendents.
It is federal law, but But Pioneer doesn't really fall under federal. Everything that deregulation was supposed to do is just made miniature mall bells out of everyone, I think. So they don't have the technology to port it. It's not that they can't, but they say they don't have the technology.
You just don't want to.
And it may be, I think it's something they work out with the government probably to be able to protect these smaller telecoms from being taken over by it. Because right there was a case, we may have gone with Verizon, but if we can't port the number, we're stuck with them, so. But, yeah, I tried to do that on several numbers and they refused to port them, or say that they can't. So.
Well, whatever you guys want to do, all I know is that I'd be happy with another flip phone if it with not enough charger all the time.
You're in luck, I probably got a flip phone, like new. If we stay with Pioneer, we need to talk to them about redoing our contract, cause
It seems like
$57
the new-
for 1,500 minutes.
We can find out their newest plans.
That might be
and find out-
outdated anyway. Most phone companies come out with new plans that make them
And
cheaper.
And we just sent Pioneer a letter updating with everyone, with the new trustee and the new office and the new maintenance guy to be able to contact them to get contract information on what we have.
But
And that way, and if Stuart
did you
needs to
say
go
we
down
put
there-
the maintenance cell phone number on some signs?
It's at the water pump and on the side.
Isn't it up there on that gas, up there at that
Yeah.
station?
gas,
Sure.
all the gas signs have it.
In case of emergency, please
Main
call.
shutoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest drawback is that gas. I mean, everything else is kind of nonchalant, but yeah, this gas thing. I mean, changing out all them signs, which Mike Bell would make sure you did it now, not when you got around
If
to
I'd have known this kind of stuff, was around when we did that, I would have got a dedicated landline and then you could forward it to whatever, but. Okay. Well, I guess there's no action to take on a new phone contract if we have to keep that.
But do you want a new device? Do you want to pay it out, or do you want to pay it up front?
I want Pioneer to provide a device, $57.33 for no telling how many years, and he's got 18,000 carryover minutes.
Yeah, that's the weird part about it is these phones are obsolete as soon as you buy them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't believe Pioneer doesn't do upgrades.
I didn't know they did until
I
just
didn't
now.
know.
I mean, if we're talking
They
about
just
replacing
changed
$5,
the
$10
this
signs
morning.
versus continuing to pay. I mean, is it the people in town that have the numbers you'd be concerned if you change numbers they wouldn't be able to get a hold of you, or is it the signage? or-
That's all the signs. I mean, it's just not the gas signs, it's all of them that have, which basically I'm the emergency number, you know.
But I mean, if you have to buy a phone and you have to pay more than double for a phone bill for 12 months, I mean, how long would it take you to put new signs up? I mean, cost-wise.
I don't know. I don't know what these signs go for.
Has anybody called Pioneer to see if they got any new contracts available?
Any better deals?
Yeah.
No,
I
I
tried,
haven't.
but my name.
It is now.
Yes. Yes.
Did you try AT&T or was it just Verizon that you looked at?
I did not try AT&T,
Still, either way, you can't get. any
but still, you
phone.
can't
No phone
port that
numbers.
Pioneer
Where is it?
number
Where do you go to Verizon to get? Where's your
in
Dodge?
the city.
And so I think Dodge City
Did
has
Verizon
one.
or Pioneer
Crap.
say they couldn't port out numbers? Because I think AT&T does.
Pioneer would tell me,
We do all the
Pioneer's
time.
always told me
Or
they
AT&T,
don't.
we port numbers.
Because I think
Verizon said they can't port it, and when I asked the reason, they say because Pioneer says they don't have the technology.
Why?
Same thing with anywhere in the country almost. You can port a
Yeah,
landline
yeah,
to a
but-
cell phone number. They won't let you do that.
But Verizon's also not as strong here as AT&T. I mean,
Yeah, the signal.
I'm not
It's
talking
not-
about the signal. I'm talking about
I
just
don't
this
think it's
company in
any
general.
major carriers. It's an issue with Pioneer.
It might be. I didn't know that, but it might be.
But-
I just
If you want to check into AT&T,
And I would go ahead and call Pioneer and get their plans, their most current plans.
Yeah, all these companies are changing them all the time
Yeah.
because they're getting more bitterly competitive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they used to have unlimited data and everything else. Well, now you pay for your data,
I mean,
Robbie, I
I'm
would
grandfathered
tell
it in, and they're trying to get me to get rid of it.
and I mean, yeah, I mean, if you knew
when you
and
call them, I would tell them that you are with the Town of Freedom and that you want to talk about some cell phone plans with their corporate salesman or their business salesman or whoever it is,
Yeah.
because I think you can work with them a little bit more. I don't think bubblegum chewers up front can do much more than what it says in the
I think if you
Yeah.
call anymore, you go straight to
Yeah.
Kingfisher anyway. You can't when you call, you don't get a you don't.
And
get
we're
more.
talking about Pioneer.
Well, they probably
Yeah.
did that for a reason. That's probably good.
Yeah, you do go straight to Kingfisher. So either way, with whatever company we go to, are we going to buy it outright or do the monthly thing? Because every company has
I don't
that.
know. I mean, major carriers, Pioneer and I mean Verizon and AT&T, they're going to give you a phone.
The smaller flip phones
Pioneer's
like
not
you want.
gonna-
Can you
Not
wait
going
another
to do
month?
that.
Oh yeah, I just I'd like something that's not easily broken, like something like
Yeah, like
that.
mine.
Don's
Actually,
got
mine's
one
not
just
bad.
like it.
Had it
and
about
I'm
2 years.
afraid to look at it wrong.
But no, like I said, we bought the Dura Scout for Austin because
And is
Austin
it just
can
a
break
phone?
anything within 5 minutes.
Is that a smartphone or is it just a flip phone?
Which one, the Dura Scout?
Yeah.
It's a smartphone.
Are they
It's
big?
got this. No, it's about this size actually. It's
That's the only
thicker.
reason I haven't switched to a smartphone because I'm scared of breaking them and they don't fit in my
No,
pocket.
his actually might be a little bit shorter. It's a little bit wider, but it's thicker
Yeah.
because they don't make cases for them, but they make cases you can slide it in like on your belt or
Yeah.
something like that. But they don't make an actual just case cover for it.
To that?
No, for the Dura
Dura
Scout,
Scout.
the other one, because it's supposedly the most
I got one
durable.
for that one.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah, 'cause
had one. I just and-
Cody had one got bucked off the other day and it just shattered in her pocket. I'm like, that's why I don't want one.
Yeah.
Gotta call 911 and it shattered. Or a ride back to the barn, whichever one.
So we're going to
Well, it's like the other night we had to have an
take
emergency.
action. We're going to take no action on this one, but I would need a motion to take no action. At this time. We're going to wait a month.
I was thinking of a way that it wouldn't have to come to a board meeting again. Because here's my only issue on it. If Pioneer can't work this down to even come close to Verizon, I don't feel that we should be paying almost $60 for a phone when we know we can pay $25 for a phone.
Yeah. Well, and that would need to be discussed whenever you
Call
talk to
Pioneer.
them. Say,
Is it
Yeah,
really
is it-
much needed calling AT&T until we really see what Pioneer can do? I mean,
I would make Pioneer your first call,
Yeah.
and then we can. Because, like I say, if they can't port the number, and that's
still
That's
leaves us in the
concerned,
same
then-
place as with Verizon. Only problem with Verizon, like you say, the closest stores. Either I think there's one in Dodge City or Pratt in Oklahoma City, but
How long has the maintenance supervisor's phone number been the same?
since before I was elected. Over probably about at least 10 years now. It's been that same number.
I mean, compared to large municipalities, I mean, they change phone numbers all the time and nobody cares. Whatever's listed is the office number, and then you get an answering machine and it has the maintenance supervisor's
Number on it, and then you call that.
I mean, I would just like to say, yeah, we have the option. If Pioneer doesn't do anything here, I don't mind changing a few signs in town.
Yeah.
$15 signs so that we're not kind of under the news to Pioneer.
Well, that emergency down there at the lift station the other night, I couldn't get my phone to charge and it was dead. And of course, Randy, his phone was about dead, so. And I couldn't wiggle it enough to get it to charge, so, you know, we're kind of, I mean, you asked me if I could wait another month. I said, yeah, but maybe
Unless you have
not.
an emergency. Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not taking my personal phone to the lift station, you know what I mean?
People don't need to have your personal phone anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too, but I don't want to take it to the lift station.
Okay, how about this? I'd like to make a motion that the board authorizes a phone contract with either Verizon or AT&T if they can offer
A lower price.
a lower price on phone service.
With Verizon or AT&T or
If Pioneer won't work with us, because I don't want this to string out another month if we call tomorrow and they're like,
right.
That's just as for clear, is that with a different number or if they can port to?
I think it's gonna be different if you have to go to
Either
another
or.
town.
Oh, either or, that's fine with me. I just want to agree.
you know, if we had our little corner store going and we had Camp Houston annexed and everything was rolling along, I'd say great, but all these
No, yeah.
little pennies end up making dollars.
Why don't they make something like like a sticker to go over the signs instead of actually replacing the whole sign? I'll check on it. I still don't know where that sign place is over there. Do you know where it's at? No?
No, Randy knows where it's at. He always goes and picks them up and stuff. I don't know. It's like right when you come. It's before Mosier's
Okay.
Circuit 8
Circuit
engineering.
8, District 8 Engineering.
Yeah.
What
Is
department?
it before Mosier's? Like where's it at?
It's before Mosier's.
Yeah, it's like as you're coming into
Now,
Allen
Mosier's
before.
is the very next thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's those. It's where the golf carts like used to be.
It's actually
yeah.
across the drive.
The little drive. Yeah, it's on the west side.
On the west drive.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make it a point to stop by there next time I'm over there. Check it out. Ask them some questions.
Because at one point in time, I know we used to have, which I'm sure prices have changed, but a price sheet of all the different sizes and shapes and like how much they were assigned. They
Because
might
as
be
soon
able
as
to
that
give you-
number changes, you'll have to change everything almost immediately. Well, or not, Stuart might get a break.
I'll second that motion. After that's your way in mind.
Okay, to approve phone contracts with the
Wouldn't that
Best
be a
plan provider.
offering cheap commercial bill or something?
Pioneer
Best-
provides your town for something.
Pioneer
As far as
does
our
the-
office and everything.
The home,
like that.
yeah, landlines,
Yeah,
internet. They do our alarm at the lift station, our fax line. Because we've got multiple numbers for the fire,
Do
the
you
ambulance, and
give them a franchise for that?
we get a franchise income. I think it's 3% maybe, don't quote me, but it's a small percentage. The same as, I was like, we get franchise income from AEC as well.
Mhm.
I thought about offering municipal provided internet service, but I think Pioneer would prevent us from doing that, whether we're a franchise or not. Because I know they do it in bigger markets, and I think it would be a heck of a moneymaker for the for the town. But I think,
Well, you just need to pull out the franchise agreement and see if it prohibits you from competing with them. And it probably does.
but even if we didn't have that, I don't know if we still could.
I know Ponca City provides services. So does the local companies, and so does, I mean, they got competitors. But I mean, my daughter, who lives there, enjoyed their free internet service.
I mean, it just depends how you send it out. As long as you're not using their hard line.
Well, you would have, like the companies that would install that stuff would be prohibited from coming into their area, especially if we have a franchise agreement. But say it was legal to do it, you would probably have to get your internet from them unless you had an agreement with AT&T, who is where Pioneer is getting their stuff from, that comes in on AT&T fiber and all that convoluted mess. But my idea, there's two ways that I know that you can do it. One, you would broadcast Wi-Fi town-wide, and that would just be broke up over everybody's bill, which would still be way cheaper than what people in town have to pay for internet. The second one is you would have wireless routers in people's homes, and it would be kind of like Dish TV or something. You would broadcast it town-wide, and their little router would scramble that, and they would pay a monthly fee for that router.
Pretty much how our
Why
plans
can't Bank
work.
Central provide that to you?
I don't know much on their IT side. Let's see, I know they do a lot of installs. I'm not sure on their internet. Their internet is through Pioneer. A lot of their internet stuff
Right,
is with
but they-
Pioneer. So
Let's see, there's somebody who's signed Pioneer
yeah,
to lease the internet bandwidth. And so at the paper, we actually have 4 providers. We have two AT&T, a DSL, their latest UVerse, which, and we have Bank Central, and we have cable, because we need that reliability.
Suddenlinks, yeah.
Suddenlink, and we're dropping AT&T DSL simply because it's becoming obsolete, and they want us to drop it. So we're down to 3. But anyway, there's a lot out, and I know Bank Central provides wireless internet. We had it for a while at our house, but got discouraged, and you guys might get discouraged too, because apparently when close of banking day occurs, all the banks in the nation dump all of their financial stuff on the internet, and it slows it down like crazy. And that's about time we're putting out a paper.
Yeah.
We
So
couldn't
one
tolerate that.
something's ending, something else is beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It has something to do with being out here on the frontier or something, but, and you probably already know this, but in a town like Freedom, we don't have the option for Verizon internet or AT&T internet or anybody's internet, even though there's a physical capability. I mean, I could put a wireless Verizon internet receiver for home internet on my house, and you know, scientifically I can get it, but they don't offer it in that zip
You're
code.
too
So
small.
they're tied up somehow.
You're too small a market to make it worth their while, probably.
That has to do, I think, a lot with the antennas.
I guess, but
Because
I mean, but it shouldn't
before
cost anything
AT&T
for me to plug an AT&T router in my phone line and get AT&T internet, because they do it everywhere else. I
My
don't-
dad's house just got Wi-Fi about 5 years ago. They dug lines. Before then, they never had but dial-up. Leave them way out there. Or they could get that blue wire where you get the dish. They had that for a while, but it wasn't.
Yeah, we tried that for a while up at Byron. We got a gal that laid out our paper up there, and
Yeah.
that Wild Blue or whatever it
Yeah.
was, wasn't reliable.
Well, if you ever need a storage for your telecommunications, call them. You might see why in the world we can't get what other people get. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, you'll look at the map and it'll show
Oh.
your area being good to go, and then as soon as you put in your zip code, they say, "Oh, that's not."
That's a lot of territory area with companies because when I first got AT&T before they started taking over here, I couldn't get much of a signal. I told we got a tower here, they're like, and I told them it was Pioneer, and they're like, we can't bounce off of them without making a contract. So that's probably what the issue is with Wi-Fi itself or satellite internet. Territory probably.
I think even Wild Blue, I tried them and they wouldn't.
Because
That's satellite, they don't.
Yeah, but
Care where
it's
they
the,
go.
it's the contractor. It's to
Really?
keep Pioneer tied in.
Because
Because I had Wild Blue at one point in time.
I think with Dish, their internet, I think you still gotta have a
Well,
phone
but they would be
line
like,
through your local telephone company, I think.
they didn't have it very long.
Or whatever it is, it didn't work. Alright, did we make it anywhere?
I have a motion second by Rolando to approve
Yes.
phone contracts with the best plan available from either Pioneer, Verizon, or AT&T, and a new device pending contract with Pioneer, Verizon, or AT&T.
Okay.
Okay.
Discussion on medical insurance coverage for
Stuart, did you find anything that you're the only one who can have it, so I want to make sure it's something that you can utilize. Did you find any?
Well, I looked for a plan for the whole family, and the best one isn't necessarily the cheapest one, but I'm gonna have to continue looking. What I did find, oh my God, you call them people and you give them their phone number.
It's a bad idea.
Man, I wish I'd have given them company phone number.
Lynn's phone number.
Well, I would, by the way, I was gonna ask most of you guys for your phone number. It sounds like I'm not gonna get it.
We're gonna change it later for it.
Because sometimes I have a question on my notes, and well, the only one I have is Todd, so.
This is, the
You
one
have
I
one.
found was for
You called me.
PPO network, whatever that
You
means.
called me and left
Let me
me a
look.
message one time.
$458 a month.
Yeah.
How much?
$458.85. It's, she claims that, you know, change of doctors. It's a subsidiary of Blue Cross and Blue Shield called Companion Life. And there's guaranteed no increases. It's a month-to-month plan. No deductible from first day you start. I know it sounds too good to be true. There is no deductible. You're covered from the day you start, and that's for my whole family.
So that's
And they know that Dawn had some serious pre-conditions. And of course, when I was talking to this woman, she wanted $583 right then to lock it in. With that, well, you know, that kind of sounded weird, but I tried to call Dawn, and of course she didn't answer, so I went home, and Dawn had hit the floor. She was bleeding and stuff, unconscious. So I never got back with this person, but that's about the way it's going to run for us. I didn't even check for my own personal deal because
You're looking
I'm
for
not trying to
family.
beat
I
it.
say you're looking for family coverage. And I talked to some of the people that have the new county stuff, and they said it's through Blue Cross Blue Shield is who they're through now, and that but they said that their deductibles were higher and some other stuff. So some of them weren't happy with it. Some others were okay with it, but I never got.
I know Randy, I talked to him right after the meeting last time, and he said you guys would be eligible for it.
Yeah. And
Well, have
so,
we looked into that, what it actually covers and the plans and?
no, I just talked to them and they said that, I mean, like I said, what did you switch to? Do you like it? And they were like, they said it was Blue Cross Blue Shield is what they switched to. They didn't say what they switched from.
Who
No,
made
they
it?
switched from Aetna.
Yeah.
Aetna's what they had. And they'd switched to Blue Cross Blue Shield. And I do know that Blue Cross Blue Shield's deductibles and their plans have gone up, and Cargill has them, and they went up like every year.
Everything.
I know, but the deductibles were going up, their health savings plans, the contracts and the specifics on that were going up to where, I mean, but I don't know. I mean, if you, like you said, this Companion Life
Yeah.
was like a subsidiary, a sister of Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yeah.
See if they can send, like, fax us or email us the information. Then that way we can look at it. You can have more of an opportunity to look and read it and get, you can compare better paper to paper than you can over the phone.
Yeah, that's what I kept trying to, you know,
Where you guys go?
but she was a salesman, so that's all she did, is try to sell. I really couldn't get her to shut up long enough for me to ask her. You know,
Well,
to
there's
send me
salesmen,
something,
yeah.
you know, send me something to look at.
Right.
Like, you know, I got her number or her personal extension, so.
Yeah. Just tell her that it's, we're with a small business and that you're presenting this and you need paperwork to present to a board.
Well, that's what I wanted to tell her too, but you know, like I
She
said,
wouldn't-
she just kept da-da-da-da-da. And then, well, whenever you go on one of them websites and you type in your information, and then they ask you for your phone number, and so I typed it in because I went to 3 different deals,
Give them the clerk's number.
and yeah,
My number's right in
and
there.
they just won't stop calling. I mean,
Is your
they just.
email RS Reed?
No,
That must be Sue Reed.
probably. Mine is CL Reed OFOK of Oklahoma at Yahoo.
Who would you or I talk to at the county that administers that could tell us
It
their
would be
contact person?
Shelley Reed.
Yeah.
Shelley Reed, the county clerk. And I've been in there a couple of times on doing some bank stuff, and she's either had the door shut or she wasn't in there. Because I was gonna talk to her, but she hadn't been in there when I was in there.
Well, we'll make her an appointment, but make an appointment to see her, because there's no doubt in my mind that a county-wide plan would have to be a better price break.
They
at least
said
something
it was
compared to-
better. I think price wise for families other than individuals, but they said the price of it was better, but they didn't like the higher deductibles. I don't know what they had as deductibles beforehand with Aetna. I don't know.
Well, that's kind of how that goes.
Yeah. So, but like with someone who has, just a husband and wife versus a husband, wife, and 3 kids, they would have rather have stayed with Aetna versus, someone with a bigger family. Or, like I said, I didn't speak, but with a couple of people.
Well,
in
part of
service.
it was, it's saving the county
Yeah, it's
a lot of money.
Yeah, because like I said, the major premium was cheaper
Well,
for
that's part
families
of us,
for that.
'cause are we not offering to pay the premium?
Well, that would be up to us. Do you pay the full premium? Do you pay the premium up to what it would have been for a single person? You would have to decide.
And they had a staff meeting of all the county employees and brought them in and let the newest bunch
Mm-hmm.
make their pitch. And they voted for it.
Yeah.
So,
It
it
would
maybe
just
wasn't
be
100%, but
Right,
they-
the
county
majority,
commissioners,
yeah.
the majority of what they wanted, and it's the county commissioners are delighted because it's saving a lot of money.
Right. So it would.
Well, I went into this thinking, you know, that I would be paying this myself.
But-
Out of my own pocket, so.
That's
Well,
I mean,
I
we're
think
not-
the
as a
understanding
benefit.
when we hired you was that previously we'd offered a supplemental insurance. And being that you're a full-time employee, we either wanted to compensate you through your wages to where you could buy insurance, or go ahead and pre-tax pay your premium or a partial of the premium or something to help you a little bit with that burden. So,
Yeah, if you guys could help me with this, I mean, it
yeah,
sounds too good to be true, and usually it is.
well.
Like I said, get it in paper format to
Mhm.
where they have to say this is what it would be. You know, so like I said, we can take it and as is, you know, tell them this will be the send us what would be a contract for the board to approve and sign, and then we could send it back and start whatever day they wanted to on that pay period, and I'd go in and adjust
Okay.
payroll necessarily.
And you were hired to be a maintenance man, not a human resources research analyst for health programs.
Well,
But I just,
well, you know, she was a typical salesman. She wanted you commit, you know. She wanted a $500 check right there and lock it in, blah, blah, blah.
That's part of
And
her
things
commission.
are just moving too fast for my slow brain, you know.
well, and even an office
Okay.
manager or whatever, I can't.
Thank you.
So we tabling that.
Yeah, take no action. I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Table it until we hear something from
Paperwork.
the county or something acceptable.
Yeah, second.
I'll second that. Motion carried. Okay, how are we on
The good news.
the REAP grant?
We got our award letter and contract for Project 1, the tractor only, not Project 2, the curbs. Because I'm sure they were only awarding one grant per city.
And what was our, were we allowed first and second? and fifth
You
on
can,
our
yeah, you
application?
could submit up to, I mean, you could submit however many grants you wanted to, but they're only gonna choose more than likely one of those. And it's up to $50,000 is what they can, is their maximum.
Can we get the tractor and sell it and buy concrete?
Have you
Is
seen
there
the
not
prices of concrete?
The
You're giving away the tractors anyway.
people of Freedom will be throwing pieces of busted curb at Stewart on his brand new shiny tractor going down the street.
That's what we were awarded. You can turn it down and not get anything.
Yeah.
Or it was the tractor quote from Western Equipment for the one with the,
Oh,
With the
yeah.
With the backhoe
Mhm.
attachment.
and then the trade-in of the one that we've got.
I guess if we're gonna get it, we need to take it full advantage of it.
Yeah, and that backhoe will save a lot of money.
Yes, because DeVore Construction is no longer giving us the
Good
money
discount.
good buddy discount. We're now paying full price.
You get a blade with it to shove snow or anything?
It's got the scoop.
If it's got the bucket, you can do that.
Yeah, it's got the bucket and then it's got the backhoe.
But that backhoe attachment's gonna make a big difference.
Yeah, it
for-
was the whatever one that you and
Yeah,
Randy
the
both
hoe.
looked at. Yeah.
Did we stipulate in that grant if it's brand new or if it's?
I had to submit a estimate from the company. And I submitted what was given to us from Stuart and Randy at the meeting.
That was a new tractor, wasn't
Mm-hmm. That's brand new.
Do you remember the estimate price?
It was. Did I not put it on there? Did I put it on it? It was 33,000 something.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
But they'll let us spend 50,000 on it, or just up to our estimate.
They're only going to give us 33,000. Is what we asked for that project for that tractor.
that was with the trade-in, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And no curbs.
There's always next year.
I don't even have anything to sit on and cry.
Come spring, we put on our waders, boys, and
Yeah.
start breaking out concrete.
Yeah, you can pop the panels out with your new backhoe.
I don't let it know that I am a concrete man too. I just don't like doing that.
I won't tell anybody.
My knees are broke down bad enough as it is.
Alright, do we need to take any action on the REAP grant?
We have to. I
Motion
have,
to approve REAP grant
Yes.
for our little
We're all second.
tractor.
okay,
Because
I
there
have
is
to
no
send
other
them-
option, is there?
Well, you
Table it,
can.
say no.
Yeah, you can say no.
And I get
You
nothing.
can, yeah, say no and get nothing, or approve and get a tractor.
Well, I don't want to be the ungrateful kid at Christmas.
Okay.
Yay
Well,
for the tractor.
we wouldn't be in this situation if the tractor would have been taken care of.
Yeah.
There's
So,
dirt.
Look at me.
Better armor all it.
Yeah. I don't know what the crack seams
And then you can take it out for the rodeo parade. Okay, discussion action on appointing signatures for the signature page for the 2016 REAP grant.
which one of them has to be the mayor, and then two others.
Including the clerk.
It can be the clerk, and it can be another board member, it could be the office manager, whoever would be. It's the paperwork part of it. So who would you like to appoint to do the paperwork part? Me?
This is really an issue.
We have to do it for the contract of the deal. It's my instructions and I'm following per OEDA.
I'd like to make a motion that all the board members need to sign the REAP grant page.
So all three trustees? Okay, so anytime an invoice comes in and we have to submit it, you have to come in and fill out paperwork and mail
That's a
in.
lot of coming in.
Well, it's gonna be two of us falling on our swords. Okay, there needs to be two board members and a clerk every time a piece of paperwork comes in.
No, I don't care, it can be.
Can
Because
be
last
Stuart.
year was,
Yeah, she said.
last year was
Office
Robbie,
manager.
the mayor, and myself. That's who it was last year. Ty, I think, was last year, and Robbie and myself. were
Can
the
be
three.
Stuart.
Can be Stuart if he wants it. If he wants to do the paperwork, it's all usually comes in the mail and goes out in the mail and.
You make it sound like Stuart doesn't know how to use the mail post.
No, I'm just saying, he probably doesn't see the mail.
I don't. Unless it gets thrown on my desk.
Unless I take it to
It's
him.
usually magazines.
So two trustees and a clerk.
Which trustees? You have to name them because they have to sign the signature page.
Well, the mayor's one.
Yes.
Has to be.
And I have to name the second. Alright, there you go. Oh,
That was the motion that you just made trying to get out of this. Mayor, Chad, trustee, who?
Rolando would be the easiest to get hold of.
Okay, Rolando, and clerk, Cindy.
Depends what time of the year.
Okay. Do I
That's
have
where we
your,
use your stamp.
I have your approval of this motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Motion passed.
Motion passed.
What is the discussion or possible action on the sewer system?
I was asked by the board member who is not present today to put this on the agenda so you could take no action.
You think that's with the lift station maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. Ty stopped me the other day and said we needed to discuss the sewer system.
I've never seen him at the sewer system issue.
He was out at the lift station for a while out there.
Oh,
That's probably what it was then.
So So I guess we could, you can,
Table.
Table.
Make a motion to table.
I'll second. Have you always had that minutes form? Off the record.
yes. I have. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I just take notes like Lynn does.
Table passes.
Depends on if I have enough time or remember to set them up. I have a template. I just had to whatever the agenda says.
Is there any new business? No new business? Any remarks from the governing board?
Nope.
No remarks. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second that.
At
8:10.
like what it is, it's I can't remember how I set that up. It's been
It says all the stuff you
yeah,
said.
okay. I thought I spelled it out that way, but
Well, did you guys get any comments on our last write-up about you at all? Any requests for
no, it's
autographs?
kind of been a whole other topic of things going on and
Oh.
around town other than the
No.
town.
Oh, he knows. He's been printing the secretary's letters.
It's been I don't know. Yeah, I noticed. When I started writing, you don't have to sign both of them.